All right, let's talk about our cats. We love them, right? But what if I told you that some of the ways we show that love are actually, well, making them feel totally invisible? Today, we're going to dive into that surprising and honestly really important idea.
You know the scene. You're just hanging out, maybe on the couch, and your cat comes over. They don't meow, they don't rub on you, they just sit there and stare.
And then, after a moment, without any real reason you can see, they just turn around and walk away. Not angry, not upset, just gone.
Here's the kicker. In that exact moment, there's a really good chance your cat felt completely and utterly invisible. And that thought, right there, is at the absolute heart of what we're going to unpack.
See, here's the thing. This isn't about loving your cat more. It's about loving them in the right way. Cats have their own language, and if we're not speaking it, our affection just gets lost in translation.
So, where does this all start? Well, a lot of the time, it begins with something we all do without even thinking about it. These little empty gestures. Okay, check this out, because this is a perfect example. You're scrolling on your phone. Your cat comes by, you reach out and give him a little pat. In our minds, we're thinking, yep, acknowledge the cat. Done. But from their point of view, you touch them, but you weren't there. That touch, without your real focused attention, it just feels empty.
It's really no different than trying to have a serious conversation with someone who's just nodding along, looking right past you. The interaction happens, sure, but there's no real connection being made.
But the good news is, the fix is so simple. It's called the 3-second pause. That's it. Just stop what you're doing, actually look at your cat, and give them a slow blink. In their world, that little gesture is huge. It's a sign of trust, a sign of respect. It means everything. And this idea connects to another big one. We tend to think of cats as these quiet, kind of mysterious creatures. But the truth is, they're talking to us all the time. The problem is, we often only tune in when they finally have to shout by meowing. So the solution? You gotta learn their language. Start noticing the small stuff. That tiny flick of their tail, the way their ears twitch, that super deliberate slow blink from across the room. Just acknowledging it, maybe saying their name or giving a slow blink back. To them, that's a whole conversation. You're telling them loud and clear, I see you and I hear you. Now this brings us to a really tricky one. A way our best intentions, our desire to show love, can actually push our cats away. And it's all about showing affection on our terms, not theirs. I mean, we've all done this. You're just hit with this wave of affection and you want to scoop your cat up for a big cuddle. But what if they aren't feeling it right then? To them, it's not a loving gesture. It feels like you're just completely ignoring their boundaries. And think about it. This is true for anyone, right? If you constantly feel like your no isn't being respected, what happens? You start to pull back. You stop initiating. You stop showing up. Our cats are no different. The real game changer here is to flip the script. Let them be the one to choose you. When your cat decides to come to you to hop on your lap on their own time, that's a massive sign of trust. Respect their space, and you'll find they want to share it with you way more often.
And all of this, all these little miscommunications, they all lead back to what is maybe the single biggest misunderstanding we have about cats.
It's the independence myth. We see that they're self-sufficient, right? They clean themselves, they can find their own fun, and we make this huge incorrect leap in logic. We assume that their independence means they don't need or crave a deep connection. And that is just a huge mistake.
Because when you buy into that myth, when you start assuming they're just fine on their own, you stop looking for all those little signals we talked about. You just stop noticing their quiet attempts to reach out.
And what happens then? Slowly, with no big fight or dramatic moment, that close, loving relationship you thought you had,
It just quietly fades into existence. You're not partners anymore. You're just roommates. And your cat, they adopt. Not because they're happy, but because they feel like they have to. It's heartbreaking when you think about it.
So how do we stop this from happening? How do we rewind and get that connection back? It all comes down to one thing: making your cat feel truly, genuinely seen. It's really this simple. 3 keys. First, you have to actively see them. Don't just let them be background noise. Notice them. Second, hear them. Listen to their quiet language. And third, acknowledge them with your focused, present attention. Because at the end of the day, your cat doesn't need another toy or a fancier brand of food. They don't need these huge, grand gestures.
They just need to know that when they try to connect with you, someone is actually on the other end of the line. They just need to feel seen.
So I'll leave you with this little challenge. The next time your cat just wanders into the room, I want you to pause for just 1 second. Look at them and ask yourself, right now, in this moment, do they feel seen? The answer and what you do next could change absolutely everything.